You guys notice we have these drawer slides on there? These drawer slides take up exactly 1/2 of an inch on either side. So we add it all together, and it takes up 1 inch of total space. So if we don't have, if we make our drawer the exact size of the opening, we're not going to have room for our drawer slides to go in there. So we need to measure the opening. If your opening is 11 inches, exactly, you're good. One of the things you guys will find with drawers is if we're not super precise, we're going to run into problems. Let's say that your project, instead of being 10 inches wide, is 9 7/8 wide. Do you think we're going to have to make our drawer 1/8 of an inch smaller than what the plan says here? Yes, is the right answer. Yes, you are. So instead of being a 11-inch wide drawer, you're at 10 7/8. Now, if you look at your plan, let's talk about which one of those dimensions we have to change. So number 1, where it says material, Baltic birch plywood, 9 ply. I am using Baltic birch plywood. The cool thing about Baltic birch plywood is, yes, it's plywood, but the edges of it are good. There's no voids in the edges, so we can look at it. It looks nice. That's an important thing, because a lot of drawers are built out of this stuff. I don't know if it happens at your house or the furniture at your house has any drawers like this, but I know that some at mine does. Once we sand and finish this, it looks beautiful. It looks like nice wood. Sometimes it's even called marine plywood because they build bolts out of some of this stuff. Very durable. You'll also notice some of them have these little football cutouts on it. That usually means that's the inside of your piece of lumber. So those little football cutouts are there because there was a notch or something that the company has cut out and put in a new piece of wood. Okay, so Baltic birch plywood. Our drawers are set up to look just like this. If we look from a front view, so if you flip back a page, it says drawer dimensions. You can see a couple 3D pictures of what your drawer should look like. So we build our drawers so that our front and our back are the same size, and our left and our right are the same size. The front and the back sit inside of the sides. Now, if I told you that this plywood was a 1/2 of an inch thick, how big do you think the front would be if I had a 12-inch open? Like, does that happen in their head? We can do it together. How much space does the drawer slides take up total? 1 inch, very good. And how much would the left and the right side add up to take up? If this is a 1/2 and this is a 1/2. 1 inch. So I have to take 1 inch for the drawer slides and 1 inch for the sides off. So my front is going to be 2 inches less than the opening. You guys track with that? Okay. So if my front, and you can see it in the picture here, and you can see it on the cut list, the front and the back are going to be 2 3/4 by 9 inches. How big would my front have to be if it was, instead of a 12-inch opening, an 11-inch opening? Or it would be 11 7/8 inch opening. How big would my front have to be? So if it was an 1/8 inch smaller than it was supposed to, how big would my front have to be? It's not a rhetorical question, I know the answer. What is 2 inches minus 11 7/8? It rhymes with 8 and 11/8. Okay, there we go. So, take 2 inches off of this opening for your front and back. Likewise, if it's bigger, add a little bit to it. That 1 inch is really critically important. The sides. Do you think the sides, the length of the sides, is going to have to change depending on the width of this opening? No, it won't. Because this drawer is going to be able to go, it goes in this way. It does not matter. This drawer is going to go in there. Makes no difference if left and right is on the side. So the sides shouldn't have to change in length. You'll also notice the front and the back are shorter than the sides. Because we put this bottom in the drawer, and the sides sit on top of the bottom. That making sense? Yes? Okay. If you ever forget any of this, look here first. Look at this drawing first, or look at this drawer first. This will give you some very good clues. You'll notice that during the class period, I give Vision a lot of questions. So please ask before you make a mistake. the material that we're using is going to be right there. So you can see on the table saw, there's a stack of boards that are 3.5 inches tall. Those are going to be our sides. And a stack of boards that are 2 3/4 inches tall. That is our front and our back. What I ask of you is if you take a full piece here, bring back what you don't use because somebody else can use that. Please don't stack it up by the miter saw. Use it out of there. So what you'll have to do is take the boards that are cut to width and go cut them to the right length on the miter saw. So this is going to be like a cooking show today. Let's pretend that I just cut out my drawer pieces. So these are my sides. How long are they? 11.5 inches. Okay. My drawer sides are 11.5 inches, and I just cut my front and back to 2 3/4 of an inch. Now that I have these cut out, I have to do one thing. I have to cut a dado into the sides. So if you guys see, you notice that there's a dado